welcome and introduction, sir. So let me just share my screen first. Just to check whether my screen and audio is clear to everyone, can you please confirm in comment box? Okay, perfect. Since you have already given my intro, so I will directly come to today's topic. So, but before that, there is a small disclaimer. And that's a bit about me. This is my website, which is www.algotech.co.in, my Twitter handle and my Telegram group ID. So in today's session, I'm actually not going to discuss any new strategy. Rather, my focus will be on how to improve the performance of existing strategy. See, I strongly believe that none of the strategy exists in market which works in all market conditions. Every strategy has to face some losses and every strategy has to go through its drawdown phase. So अगर एक strategy सभी market condition में काम नहीं करता है, so the question is how can we survive in the market or how can we make money from stock market? So the answer is when you lose small. And when you win, win big. That's the holy grail. So the idea for today's session is how can we generate even better returns when market conditions actually suits my strategy. Means, मेरा कोई existing strategy, let's say किसी most profitable day पर 2% return generate कर पाता है. So क्या मैं ऐसा कुछ कर सकता हूं कि उस दिन जिस दिन मार्केट कंडीशंस एक्चुअली में मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी के फेवर में हो तो मैं उस दिन 2% रिटर्न्स ना जनरेट करके 3 या 4% रिटर्न जनरेट कर पाऊं. सो दैट्स द आइडिया फॉर टुडेज सेशन. सो टू एक्सप्लेन दिस आई विल टेक 920 straddle strategy as an example. Although 920 straddle is a very common and well-known strategy, and let me tell you, it's a profitable strategy also, if you follow it for a long time with proper discipline. Okay, let me explain first what is 920 straddle strategy. There might be some participants who don't know about this strategy. So, in this strategy, we short time-based ATM straddle, wherein we put a stop loss on individual leg. So instead of putting a stop loss on combined premium, we put a stop loss on individual leg. So let's say we shorted a straddle wherein we shorted a call at, let's say 200 points. We shorted a put at, let's say 220 points, where we put a stop loss of 25% on each leg. Okay, so 25% of call will be 50 points and 25% of put will be 55 points. So the stop loss for call will be 50 plus 200 is 250 and the stop loss for put will be 55 plus 220, this is 275. So we are putting a stop loss on individual leg. Once either of the leg stop loss is hit, we can manage the stop loss of pending leg in two ways. Number one, we can hold the pending leg with initial stop loss. Let's say आपका call का stop loss 250 points पर hit हो जाता है. Then उसके बाद आप puts के leg को initial stop loss which is 275 उसके साथ carry कर सकते हैं. Second way to manage the stop loss of pending leg is we can shift the stop loss of pending leg to its cost price. So let's say आपका call का stop loss 250 points पर hit होता है. जैसे ही आपका call का stop loss 250 point पर hit होता है, आप puts के stop loss को जो initially 275 points पर था, उसको उसके cost price यानी 220 points पर shift कर सकते हैं. So these are the two ways to manage the stop loss of pending leg in 920 straddle strategy. So this is 920 straddle strategy basically. Okay, you might have seen this image on Twitter, which says दोनों टांगे गईली अपनी, means कि आपका कॉल का भी स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया है और पुट का भी स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया है. तो ऑन द फन साइड जब ऐसा होता है तो ट्विटर पे जनरली लोग ये इमेज को पोस्ट कर देते हैं. बट best way to trade 920 straddle strategy is to make multiple entries at different times. Okay, so let's assume that you are trading on a day like this, where initially market fell, then it recovered. So let's say you are executing all the lots at 920, which is somewhere here. You shorted your quantity at 920, and within that fall, your put stop loss will hit. And when market reverse, your call stop loss will also hit, right? So, and जैसे ही आपका put का stop loss hit हुआ, and उसके बाद call का stop loss hit हुआ, market से बाहर. So that is why I advise to take multiple entries at different times. You can make your own rules of shorting a straddle by defining different entry types. See, just understand that 920 straddle is more of a directional strategy. Initially, we start with a non-directional view, but once either of the leg stop loss is hit, it automatically converts into a directional strategy. And we never know on what day or at what time market is going to make a trending move. So it's better to short multiple straddles at different times. So for example, you want to short 10 straddles. So instead of shorting all the straddles at one go, it's better to short few lots at, let's say 9:20, few lots at 10 o'clock, few lots at 11 o'clock, few lots at 12 o'clock, and so on. Okay, so let's assume you shorted some lots at here, which is 9:20. You shorted some lots at here. You shorted some at here, some at here, and some at here. So 9:20 का हमने देख लिया. मार्केट में पहले आपका पुट्स का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हुआ, देन उसके बाद आपका कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हुआ. अगर आप मल्टीपल एंट्रीज ले रहे हैं और आपने यहां पर एक और एंट्री लिया है, तो इस हो सकता है कि आपका इसके अंदर पुट का स्टॉप लॉस सेव हो जाए. देन उसके बाद मार्केट ने जब रिवर्सल लिया तो आपका कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो और आपके पास पुट्स पेंडिंग रहे. इस एंट्री में भी हो सकता है कि आपका पुट्स का स्टॉप लॉस भी हिट हो जाए एंड कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस भी हिट हो जाए. बट इस एंट्री में एंड इस एंट्री में हो सकता है कि आपका पुट्स का स्टॉप लॉस सेव हो जाए और आपका मार्केट में देन जब रिवर्सल आएगा उसके बाद आपका कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो जाए और आपके पास पुट्स पेंडिंग रहे. राइट, सो दैट इज द वन आइडिया फॉर टू टेक मल्टीपल एंट्रीज. ओके, सो whatever the variation you are currently trading of this strategy, I will give you a simple top-up idea so that you can generate even better returns with your existing strategy. But before that, let's understand the edge in this strategy. Okay, so for non-directional option sellers, they have theta as an edge. And for directional option sellers, they have theta and delta as an edge. And in दोनों ग्रीक्स थीटा और डेल्टा से मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट हम कैसे ले सकते हैं, ये आज हम समझेंगे. सो फॉर द ओटीएम स्ट्राइक्स, lesser will be the delta, and for the OTM strikes, higher will be the theta in percentage terms, but will be lower in absolute terms. मीन्स कि अगर अंडरलाइन से जितना दूर आप जाते जाएंगे या जितना आप फार ओटीएम स्ट्राइक्स पे जाते रहेंगे, आपके ऑप्शंस का थीटा परसेंटेज वाइज तो उसमें थीटा का कंपोनेंट इंक्रीज होगा, बट वो एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में एज कंपेयर टू एटीएम ऑप्शंस कंपैरेटिवली कम होगा. सो थीटा का मैक्सिमम एडवांटेज या मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट लेने के लिए आपको समवेयर एट द मनी स्ट्राइक्स के आसपास आपको अपनी पोजीशन को रखना होगा. एंड डेल्टा को बेटर समझने के लिए हम लोग इस चार्ट से उसको समझते हैं. सो लेट्स से वी आर एट 36,000. 36,000 is the ATM strike. So 36,000 call and 36,000 put डेल्टा विल बी 0.5 मींस अंडरलाइन के 100 पॉइंट्स मूव के कंपैरिजन में 0.5 डेल्टा वाला ऑप्शन 50 पॉइंट्स मूव करेगा. दिस इज व्हाट डेल्टा रिप्रेजेंट्स. सो लेट्स अज्यूम मार्केट रीचेस टू 36,200 लेवल्स. इस टाइम पर 36,100 पुट्स का डेल्टा will reduce to 0.45. ये exactly 0.45 नहीं होगा, but more or less 0.44 और 0.46 के आसपास होगा. But to understand it better, मैंने इन डेल्टास को राउंड फिगर नंबर्स में यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन किया. ऐसे मार्केट then reaches to 36,400 levels. This time 36,000 put delta will reduce to 0.4. When market reaches to 36,600 levels, delta of 36,000 puts will reduce to 0.35. यहां पर मैं हर बार पुट्स के डेल्टा को ही क्यों एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूं? जस्ट बिकॉज आई हैव टेकन द एग्जांपल ऑफ राइजिंग मार्केट एंड लेट्स अज्यूम वी हैव एंटर्ड समवेयर हियर एट 36,000. सो विद इन दैट अप मूव मार्केट व्हेन रीचेस टू 36,200 लेवल्स, आपके कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस कहीं ना कहीं हिट हो जाएगा, तो आपके पास पुट्स आपकी पोजीशन में पेंडिंग बचेंगे. तो दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव टेकन द पुट्स एज एन एग्जांपल टू डिफाइन द डेल्टा. तो मार्केट जैसे जैसे इंक्रीज या बढ़ता रहेगा, आपके पास इनिशियल स्ट्राइक का जो पुट्स पेंडिंग रहेगा उसका डेल्टा धीरे धीरे कम होता रहेगा. वेयरएज मार्केट जब 36,000 पर था तो उस टाइम 36,000 कॉल एंड पुट्स का डेल्टा 0.5 था. बट जब मार्केट 36,200 पर पहुंचता है तो उस टाइम पर 36,200 पुट्स का डेल्टा 0.5 होगा. अगेन मार्केट जब 36,400 पर पहुंचेगा तो उस टाइम पर 36,400 पुट्स का डेल्टा 0.5 होगा. सिमिलरली मार्केट जैसे जैसे बढ़ता रहेगा, ऑलवेज एट द मनी स्ट्राइक्स का डेल्टा ही 0.5 होगा. सो व्हाट आई सजेस्ट इज, इफ either of the leg stop loss is hit, we will shift the strike of pending leg to current ATM strike. And as soon as market goes into the same direction, we will keep on rolling the strike of pending leg to current ATM strike. So let's say we started at 36,000. हमने 36,000 का कॉल भी शॉर्ट किया और 36,000 का पुट्स भी शॉर्ट की. मार्केट बढ़ता है तो आपका समवट 36,200 के आसपास लेट से कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो जाता है. जैसे ही आपका कॉल का स्टॉप लॉस हिट होगा, हम अपने 36,000 के पुट से एग्जिट करके, बिकॉज वो उसका डेल्टा 0.45 रह चुका होगा, हम उससे एग्जिट करके 36,200 के पुट्स को शॉर्ट करेंगे और अपने डेल्टा को वापस से 0.5 कर देंगे. मार्केट फर्दर राइज होता है और 36,400 पर जाता है तो हम अगेन 36,200 के पुट्स से एग्जिट करेंगे एंड वापस 36,400 के पुट्स को शॉर्ट कर देंगे. जैसे जैसे मार्केट राइज होता रहेगा, हम अपने पुट्स को रोल अप करते रहेंगे. एंड अगर आपके इनिशियल एंट्री में पहले पुट्स का स्टॉप लॉस हिट होता है तो उस केस में हम अपने कॉल्स को रोल डाउन करते रहेंगे, और जैसे जैसे मार्केट नीचे जाता रहेगा, हम अपने कॉल्स के स्ट्राइक को रोल डाउन करते रहेंगे टू गेट द मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट फ्रॉम डेल्टा. ओके, सो नाउ व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट ऑफ रोलिंग द स्ट्राइक्स? हमने यहां पर ये समझ तो लिया है, बट एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में स्ट्राइक्स को रोल करने का एक्चुअल बेनिफिट क्या है, इसको अभी एक बार हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स के थ्रू समझते हैं. ओके, सो मैंने यहाँ पर कुछ एग्जांपल्स नोट करके रखे हुए हैं और मैंने स्पेशली वो दिन यहाँ पर लिए कंसीडर किए हैं जिस दिन मार्केट वन साइडेड ट्रेंडिंग था. और सी इस स्ट्रैटेजी में आपका मोस्ट फेवरेबल डे वो होगा जिस दिन मार्केट वन साइडेड ट्रेंडिंग में होगा. जिस दिन मार्केट ट्रेंडिंग में नहीं है या जिगजैग मूव कर रहा है, उस दिन आपका आइदर मैक्स स्टॉप लॉस हिट होगा या आप थोड़ा प्रॉफिट या थोड़ा लॉस करके बाहर निकल जाओगे. सो हमने कंपैरिजन ये करना है कि अगर कोई डे हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी के लिए मोस्ट फेवरेबल है तो उस दिन इन दोनों ही सिनेरियोज में से, जिसमें कि पहला सिनेरियो हम इनिशियल स्ट्राइक में रहते हैं और दूसरा सिनेरियो जिसमें हम अपनी स्ट्राइक्स को रोल करते हैं, उसमें आउटपुट में क्या डिफरेंस आता है. So, पहला एग्जांपल मैंने यहां पर लिया है, which is 25th of January 22. So let me just go to the chart of 25th January Bank Nifty. So this is 25th January. As you can see that market was clearly in a uptrending mode. So यहाँ पर कहीं आपने 920 के आसपास इनिशियल एंट्री में ही जो आपने एंट्री किया होगा वो स्ट्राइक आपका कंटिन्यूअसली थ्रू आउट द डे आइदर नॉर्मल सिनेरियो में आपने होल्ड किया होगा और या फिर जो मैं आपको रोलिंग मैकेनिज्म एडवाइस कर रहा हूं आप रोल कर सकते हैं. सो हम दोनों ही सिनेरियोज में आउटपुट देखते हैं कि इनका आउटपुट में कंपैरिजन किया. सो ये वो सिनेरियो है जहां पर हम इनिशियल स्ट्राइक्स में एंट्री करते हैं और डे एंड तक यानी 3 बजे तक सेम उसी स्ट्राइक्स के अंदर बने रहते हैं. सो हमने यहाँ पर 36,500 के कॉल एंड पुट्स को शॉर्ट किया wherein our call stop loss got triggered.
जी, excuse me.
Yes.
Please keep the presentation in English so that majority of the audience will understand.
Okay, no problem. So initially we started from 36,500 call and put, wherein in this up move our call stop loss got triggered and we had only puts. So if we carried the same strike throughout the day and we exited at 3 o'clock, so this was our M2M in which we were able to get about 290 points. Whereas if we were used to roll up the strikes, then what will happen? We started with the day at 36,500 call and put. Our call stop loss got triggered. Then we started the put strikes to roll up. So then we moved to 36,700 puts, then 36,800, then 900, then 37,100, 200, 300, 400, and up to 600. We used to keep rolling the strikes of put leg throughout the day. And this was the output of rolling mechanism. We were able to generate 550 points as compared to the 290 points from normal scenario, which is about 260 points more than the normal scenario, right? So we look at one more example of 15th of February. So this is 15th February chart, wherein you may have your put stop loss may got triggered of 920 entry, but if you are taking multiple entries, so you can, if you entered somewhere here, you can roll the strikes up to the end of the day. So I have taken this example only for that I am assuming that we have entered at 36,700 strikes. So in normal scenario, we started with 36,000 call and puts for which our call stop loss got triggered. And we carried the put throughout the day and square off it at 3 o'clock, for which system has generated about 250 points in normal scenario. But in the rolling mechanism, we started at 36,700 call and puts. Then we started rolling the puts again. We started from 36,900, then 37, then 37, 1, 2, and up till 38,100, we used to keep on rolling the put strikes throughout the day. And as you can see that we were able to generate 600 points just because of the rolling mechanism as compared to normal scenario, which is 250 points. So this is about 350 points more than the normal scenario. Let's look at one more example, which is 24 February. So this is 24th of February. This was completely a trending day. This time it is a downtrending day. So your initial entry, which you taken at 920, you can keep on holding the same strike throughout the day. So let's look at in the Excel sheet. So this is the normal scenario where your put stop loss got triggered and you were holding the same strike throughout the day. Then you will able to generate about 221 points. Whereas if you follow the rolling mechanism, then we started at 36,400, then we shifted our calls to 36,200, 100, 36, and up till 35,700. Now this time we were able to generate 500 points. Now this time it is about 280 points more than the normal scenario. See, these are those days where the market conditions actually suits your strategy. And the idea for this today's session is to tell you that how can you generate even better returns when market conditions actually suits your strategy, and this way you can generate even better returns. Okay, let's see some more statistics that if you are following rolling mechanism, and let's say we assume that we are able to capture 200 points on an average on monthly basis just because of the rolling mechanism, apart from your strategy performance. So let's say you have defined multiple entry times, and you are following some of the combination of this strategy, and you are able to generate about 30% returns. And by adding this rolling mechanism in your strategy, you are able to capture 200 points. So for Bank Nifty 1 lot straddle, there is a margin of about 2 lakh. Bank Nifty lot size is 25, and we are assuming that we are able to capture 200 points on a monthly basis. So in absolute terms, it will be 5,000 rupees, which is 2.5% on deployed margin. And if I calculate it on annual basis, which will come to 30% extra returns in a year. So for example, your existing return is, hypothetically, I assume your existing return of any of your strategy is 30%. And just because of the rolling mechanism, you are able to get 30% more returns. So your total returns can go up till 60%, right? If you calculate it conservatively, so you can assume that at least you can go up till 50%. Means you can be able to capture 20% extra returns by just following the rolling mechanism. Here we are not tweaking any of the existing strategy parameters. We are just adding the rolling mechanism in our existing strategy. So that was the whole idea for today's session. Now, so here are the list of algos which I currently provide. The first algo which I provide is short straddle with divisor or trailing stop loss. Short straddle, I have already shared this strategy 2 times. One is once in my face-to-face with Vivek Bajaj, and second time when I did a session with Quants League few months back. And the second algo which I provide is individual leg stop loss strategy, or you can say 920 straddle. We have 3 variants in this strategy. One is simple, in which we hold the stop loss of hold the pending leg with original stop loss. Second variant is shift SL to cost, in which we shift the stop loss of pending leg to cost price once either of the leg stop loss is hit. And the third variant is rolling, which we have just discussed. So these are the algos which we are currently providing. And regarding the execution and the preventive measures we have taken to avoid the freak trades, what we are doing is we are always placing limit orders in our system, and system will modify the order after a few seconds if order is unfilled or partially filled. Number 2, system will check whether sufficient bid and ask price and quantity is available before placing any order. And the third point, which is very important, system have a capacity to ignore the scenario in which SL level is breached for a fraction of second and price returns to a normal range. Means you must have noticed that freight trades जब भी होता है वो fraction of second के लिए होता है. Price behaves normally for just for a fraction of second, and then it returns to a normal range. So our system have a capacity to ignore this kind of a price action move. Right? Okay. So let me just show you my algo execution platform. So this is my algo execution platform, which I provide to my clients. You won't be able to see the code, but you will get the access of this user interface from where you can define the parameters of your strategy. Even you can define multiple entry timings. You can also define multiple strategies to follow at different timings. So as you can see here, I have already defined few of the instances. So these instance number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These top 8 instances are related to individual leg stop loss strategy. Okay, so wherein I have defined to enter few lots at 920 with a stop loss of 100 points in absolute terms on individual leg, right? For next instance, I have defined to enter few lots at 10 o'clock with 100 points absolute stop loss on individual leg. Then at 10:30, then some quantity at 11, some at 11:30, some at 12, some at 12:30, and so on. I have defined few more instances for a divisor-based stop loss also. This is for Bank Nifty, and this is for Nifty. So in this platform, you can use multiple strategies and multiple strategies at different times simultaneously at the same time. So from here, you can see there are two options to add the instance for any strategy. First one is the for 920 strategy, which is individual leg stop loss strategy, and the second is divisor or trailing stop loss strategy. So to add the instance, let me just add a new instance. So from this window, you have to define the underline, then you define the expiry. Then you define the offset. Offset means if you define offset as 0, it will execute the ATM options, and if you define offset as 1, so it will execute one strike for OTM options. So you define start time. You can define multiple entry times. Then square of time. At that time, all the open positions will get square off. Then exit option, in which we have 3 options. One is simple, cost, shift SL, then rolling. Then we have to define the stop loss. We can define the stop loss in 2 ways. If we define a number followed by a percentage mark, then it will place the order for individual leg in percentage terms. But if you define a number without any percentage mark, then it will calculate the stop loss in absolute terms. Then you define the number of lots you want to trade. So let me just define the entry time. So let's say 10:40, my start time. And if I click on add button, so this instance will be added in the monitor window. Once you click on the right button, you will have few more functions over here, which is start. If you click on start, this instance will get started. Once this start time will reach, this will take positions based on the defined parameters of this instance. You can manually square off the positions related to this instance only by clicking on the square off button. You can stop the instance also, and even you can delete the instance also. And here you can see the order book, which I provide in my this algo execution platform. And below that, you can see the net position. This is the net position taken by this algo as of today. So let's say in 920 straddle, it has taken the entry in 58284 and 582 strike, which is 58284, which was 36,100 strikes. So initially at 920, system has taken the entry in 36,100 call and 100 puts. Then market is now at 36,400.
Embossing.
Market is presently at about 36,400. So my call stop loss must have been hit, in which you can see it is showing 0. Now it has opened 58291 security ID. So which is 36,300, means it has rolled up my put strike from 36,100 to 36,300, in which it has executed this leg at 255. For that, current price is 228, and the stop loss for this leg is about 341. So this is how you can define multiple entries, and you can define multiple type of strategies in this platform and follow, and you can trade all these strategies simultaneously. And that was the agenda of my today's session. And if you have any queries, you may ask, I will reply. So Kale sir is asking that please explain the stop loss. So in rolling mechanism, my main focus will be on not to lose more than the stop loss which I have given in the initial entry. So let's say if I started from 36,000 call and put, my call stop loss is triggered. So whatever the points I have lost in this call option, this will be my maximum stop loss for that particular entry. This was my idea. So Ishan Loya is asking, what is the max drawdown that you have faced till now in this? See, rolling mechanism is not tested at all, but you can define your entry rules by defining different entry timings. And see, if you will trade this strategy on only one time, so you may face more drawdowns. But if you start taking multiple entries, then your drawdowns will eventually become low. Naresh Kumar is asking that rolling working in trending market, could you please confirm how it will perform in sideways market? That's absolutely correct. If market is sideways, none of the method is going to work in directional strategy. See, this strategy is more of a directional strategy, and it will perform, and it will give you the best return only on the trending days. So the idea for today's session is that if I'm generating, let's say, for example, hypothetically, I'm generating 2% return on the very best day, on a normal case in which I hold the initial leg throughout the day. But how can I able to generate even better returns when strategic market conditions are actually suiting my strategy? So when there will be a clear trending day, this will be the clear-cut scenario which favors my strategy. So I'm just showing you that instead of getting 2% returns, you can do something like this, and you can even generate better than 2% return especially on that day. If market is not trending, so that's what I told you. You may hit your max stop loss, or you may come out with a small profit or small loss. Gaurav Sood is asking, in rolling straddle algo, how you revise your stop loss. So let me tell you that I'm not rolling the straddle. I'm just rolling the strike. Once either of my leg stop loss is hit, I keep on rolling my pending leg. So I'm just rolling the pending strike. And for stop loss, I have just told that my idea is to just stay on the loss in that I have given in my initial entry. So that's the idea. What is the time? Naresh Kumar G is asking, what is the time difference between rolling order? So there is no time difference between rolling order. System will square off the existing strike, and as soon as it gets the confirmation of executing the existing strike, it will place the order of rolling strike at the same time only. Krishna Kumar is asking, in what condition new rolling positions are created? Only based on time or other specific conditions? See, the initial condition is you have to hit your either leg stop loss. Let's say you hit your call stop loss. As soon as your call stop loss is hit, your ATM strike will also change. So what will system will do? System will immediately shift the strike of put leg to the current ATM strike. And as soon as market goes into the same direction by 100 points, so market move in the same direction by 100 points, system will keep on rolling the strike of puts leg to the current ATM strikes. Mohan is asking, what method do you follow to protect fake trades? I have just already explained in here, Mohan, that we are following few of the measures to avoid fake trades. Please share the backtesting report. See, I have shared a backtest report a few days back on my Twitter. Even I can share that backtest report to Quants League platform. They can provide this report to you also, where I've tested some of the permutation and combination of 920 straddle strategy. How much margin needed to roll in rolling method? See, you don't require extra margin. What the idea is, you are entering in a straddle, you need about 2 lakhs margin for Bank Nifty. Once either of the leg stop loss is hit, your margin will be same. And for rolling the strike, system will exit from the initial leg, then it will execute the further leg. So you won't require extra margin to roll the strikes. Arsat is asking what time we should exit our trade. In backtest report, which I will share with Quants League, I have considered 3 o'clock as the exit time. So I think these are all the questions. So I think I have done for the day.